right, hello STEM Coven, and welcome to day 20 of Mystical Practices for Your Logical Life. I can't believe we're already 20 days into it. This is amazing, and I've been having so much fun sharing all of these practices with you. So, today I want to talk a little bit about inner child healing. So, psychologists have found that through working with people, the experiences that we have as children can inform how we act as adults. So basically, when we're children, we kind of make all of the stuff we experience, whether that's like big T trauma or little T trauma or any kind of neglect, or anything that just feels unsafe to us. As children, we can, one, kind of internalize that and make it mean something about ourselves, like think that it's our own fault. And two, also develop some like coping mechanisms. And the way that these coping mechanisms then show up in our adult life are like unproductive patterns or fears that we might have. So I think that the body does hold this emotional pain, and these patterns can kind of influence our adult lives and how we operate in the world. So, a helpful thing to do is to work with some inner child healing, to kind of like loosen the reins of that for yourself a little bit. And I think that one of the biggest ways that this shows up for my clients is around perfectionism, feeling like they always have to be the best or always have to be productive. I think that a lot of times in our culture as children, we realize that, our parents react a certain way when we get good grades or when we're the star of the team or when we're all of these things, and then we could carry that with us into adulthood, and it shows up as like these perfectionistic habits or overcommitting ourselves or just like being generally people pleasers. I think that a lot of times it does start with like trying to get that love from our parents or trying to please our parents in that way. So the way that I like to do inner child healing is through a visualization. So I like to just invite everyone to do this by closing your eyes, taking a couple deep breaths, and just like visualizing yourself at the age where you started to develop these coping mechanisms. And the purpose of this visualization is to go back in time basically and acknowledge your inner child and like let them know that they are seen and held, and really thank that inner child for keeping you safe at the time or like helping you feel loved at the time. They were doing what they needed to do in order to feel stable and safe. So it's just really acknowledging that. And then when you're in your visualization, you can not only thank them, but like maybe you want to give your inner child a hug or, whatever feels good to help that inner child or you as a child feel safe and loved and held. That way we can start to kind of like loosen the grip of those habits that we've developed, those coping mechanisms that we developed, and not keep repeating them in the present day. Working with your inner child can be a very emotional process, so definitely, take care of yourself in terms of, giving yourself some time and space to integrate whatever you've experienced and just like take it easy on yourself, be gentle with yourself. And I know that our logical brains kind of think, okay, how does this help? But I want to invite you to think about how time is actually very spiralic, and it can kind of like fold over onto itself, and play with that idea that by going back in the visualization and comforting your inner child, you are helping yourself both then and now. It can provide healing for both you as a child and you as an adult. Another fun way to work with your inner child is to write as a child, a letter, basically like doing the same thing, thanking yourself and comforting yourself from your adult self to your child self. And you can even reverse that. It's not so much comforting from your child self to your adult self, but maybe an acknowledgement from you as a 7-year-old to you as a 40-year-old, to just acknowledge how far you have come, how much you've accomplished, what you've created in life, and how proud that child version of you is of who you've become now. So I hope that you're loving these practices. That's the inner child visualization. Like I said, after you come out of the visualization and meditation, definitely take care of yourself. Give yourself some time and space for comfort. Maybe make yourself some tea, and relax a little bit. And if you are loving these mystical practices and you consider yourself to be a highly logical or analytical person, I want to invite you that interest that you're having when you're watching these videos is an invitation for you to really explore this a little bit more and to go deeper into it, because I think a lot of us who have analytical brains can tend to want to think our way out of things or think our way through personal development, and we are missing a whole other part that can add really beautiful texture and help us get us the results that we want, that maybe we're not totally reaching with just our analytical brain and our personal development work. So if you're interested in doing that, I would love to talk with you on a consultation, see how we can work together in a coaching relationship. So that way I can help you work with your analytical mind so that it works for you and not against you, and also incorporate some of these mystical practices to make it feel just better, more integrated, more whole, more magical even, and get you the results that you want that maybe you haven't been able to get to with just using your analytical mind. All right, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Have a good night.